EA launched its Zondo Dashboard Tracker in response to the release of the Zondo Commission Reports. But what's the purpose of this dashboard tracker? To help us answer that is DA MP Glynnis Breytenbach. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We appreciate your time. And before we get to the purpose of that tracker, I want to find out what your response as the DA is to the fourth part of the report, which was released today.
Good evening, thank you. Well, the fourth part of the report is as staggering as all the other parts have been. The scale of the state capture, the scale of the criminality is really breathtaking. And you'd think that, we'd be used to it by now, but it's not something that you can get used to, I think, or should get used to. So, again, it makes one very angry when one thinks of what that money, the use that money that could have been put to, the good it could have done throughout the country. It's just been wasted. So that makes one angry. But yeah, we need to put pressure on the law enforcement agencies now to make sure that somebody is held accountable, so tangibly so.
Getting to that, tell us exactly how this tracker launched by the DA plays into that accountability.
Well, the tracker is a dashboard where we set out all of the people who have been implicated in the Zondo report. It's, prior to today, it was 1,438 people. After today, I think it'll go up considerably. And then by the end of all the reports, we expect it to almost double. So I set out all the people who are implicated, set out very briefly what the facts are that are set out against them, and then what action has been taken. Is the matter with the police? Is the matter with the National Prosecuting Authority? Is there any evidence of investigations being finalized, prosecutions being done? And if not, really, why not? And to use that method to then put pressure on the police and the National Prosecuting Authority to make sure that people are held accountable.
You've said you're going to update that tracker weekly. It might be a little bit ambitious to expect that you'll be able to update it weekly, given how slowly the wheels of justice often turn.
Well, update it weekly, so even if there's no progress, each week note that there's been no progress. In that way, hoping to keep the pressure on and to continue by way of pressure in the portfolio committee, pressure directly on the NPA, pressure in parliamentary questions, continue to keep the pressure on the law enforcement agencies, because really this is not something that we can let slide. We're seeing the results of the state capture every single day. We're seeing how the economy has, in a backslide. We've seen how infrastructure in the country has become dilapidated. We've seen how we inundated with load shedding, all of which could have been avoided if the state funds had been applied for the purposes for which it was paid.
If no action is taken on the information gathered by the Commission, it will have been a colossal waste of both time and money. What do you hope to see, and is that different from what you expect to see happen?
Well, what I hope to see happen is that justice will take its course, that people who have committed these offences will be held accountable, and that the consequences will be appropriate. What I expect to see is exactly that. And a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, the DA announced that we would try and get through Parliament a private member's bill for the establishment of a new Chapter 9 institution, the Anti-Corruption Commission, which will, it is envisaged to help the National Prosecuting Authority and the police deal with this high-level corruption of, the NPA can't just drop everything and deal with what happens in the Zondo report. They've got day-to-day cases. The running of the criminal justice system doesn't stop because of this crime and corruption, and it's frankly just too much. And so we hold the view that a new, independent, properly independent, well-resourced structure be set up, preferably under Chapter 9, to give it the required independence to deal with this high level of corruption, so that the NPA can really get on with the job of running the criminal justice system. So that's what I expect to see.
Well, thank you so much. We all wait in anticipation to see whether that will realise. That was Glynnis Breytenbach, DA MP. Thank you very much for your insights.